Hey, what's going on, everybody? I guess the intro is not going to play today. All right. So I guess I'm at your guys' mercy tonight. We're going to do a Q&A. You guys can hit me up for anything you want to know about what's going on behind me, what you can figure out about me and my life. We're here not only as a channel, we decided we wanted to be here as a community and making something for everybody that, we're going to grow and have a lot of people that kind of come and go a lot, but we're going to have some that just show out and come in here and hang out and make this family type of connection. So that is the ultimate goal. And we're doing a pretty good start of that so far. Also, the Discord is growing. I would love to see anybody else that wants the opportunity to get in there and check it out. I found out, I learned something last night from some of my other Discord friends, and I'm going to share with Alex when she gets home tonight, but something that we can do that's really cool as a community deal. So that way we can have some more interaction. And I've got to load up one more screen here because I am kind of out of sorts at the moment. I lost track of time and it hit 9 o'clock and I was like, hey, what time is it? It can't be that late. And once I get my ADD kicks in, I started cleaning some metal detecting finds. I lost track. Really quick, I'm going to get one more screen loaded up here so I can see what's up. I think I'll stay on this one here. Close that. And here we go. Right there. Okay, that's there. That's done. And I should have got my notification, but I didn't. That's not fair at all. Okay. Slide you over. We'll do it this way. Dude, what happened this morning? Woke up today, looked out the window, and thought, I might go do some digging today. Nothing but snow on the ground. And I was like, I grabbed the dog and I stayed in bed. Okay, let's go. I think I'm squared away. Everything's caught up. Yes, let's go through some of the chat really fast. Tim, Alley Cat Treasures, Allie goes meow. Ash is around here somewhere, and this cat has been chewing on my ankles today. And the one, the only puppet master is in the house says, boo. Right on, bro. I may be here. I may not, but sending love either way. Well, there's Mickey right there hanging out from our Kansas City resident fan that makes Alex feel good about herself all the time. Question number 1. Would you rather have $1 billion that you can only spend after 75 years old or $10 million now, and you can no longer make any money after you take the money? That's a trick question, Puppet. However, that means I can no longer work. I would take the 10 million, and I would just set it aside and absolutely manage my money, because I do that very well now. I will take $10 million now. Anything after 75 is just for somebody else. And not that I wouldn't want to give the kids 70 or 10 or $1 billion. I would just want to enjoy some of it. And although I intend on living as long as humanly possible, that I would take the 10 million now. I would make sure everybody lived great in the moment, and then roll the dice. Maybe if I spend it all, make Alex take care of me. How's that? Fair enough. Okay, I got one more thing to do here. I am out of sorts. There it is. Get that baby up in the corner because I want everybody to know. But that's a very good question. Yeah. Tim says he's not going to make it past 70. Oh, with McKinnon out for Sunday's game, do you think Ronald Jones will get a chance to play? He was good in Tampa Bay and is good enough to keep on the practice squad. I say let him play. Man, I think you may not. I think you will probably see a very heavy dose of Kadarius Toney and Pacheco I honestly think those two guys are going to fill that role in a big way. I think those guys are going to be great fantasy plays this week. Kadarius Toney and Pacheco. I think those two guys are going to get Pacheco, and Edwards-Helaire is going to get a lot of them is going to get a lot of play in that too. So those three guys mainly. Juju's still going to be a big target because he's your big wideout. You still got Kelsey. It's another big wideout. And I think, McKinnon's out. There was somebody else. Mecole Hardman's out as well, I believe. I think that's the way I heard it. But either way, Pacheco and Kadarius Toney are going to see some targets. So great fantasy plays this week. I don't think Kansas City misses a beat with those guys on the field. I think it's the next man up mentality, and I think they draft and they try to bring in people that with similar play styles, like a la Mecole Hardman versus Tyreek Hill, Jerick McKinnon versus both of those guys. I think they like that type of player, and I think Toney fits into that really well. Ronald Jones, I think, just wants out. I don't think he's going to be around. But nobody else seems to be plucking him off the practice squad. Let's see. I do say I would like to see him on the roster and get some third down carries. Who is going to be late tonight? Well, that was both. I wasn't really late. I might have been a minute late. Come on, Mickey. What's up with that? And we're waiting. Imagine that. Well, that's at 8:59, bro. You can't say that at 8:59. I mean, 9:01. Okay. I mean, I'm sure that was it. Hey, Pizzle, what's up, brother? Nice to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, dude, Mickey. We're really trying to make a place that people love. That's what the goal is. It's the overall goal, and we're building family, and it's a lot of fun. Nathan's in here, family. Shanksy, Mr. Zompocalypse is in here. Brian is family. Alley Cat Treasures is family. Tim, I think a lot of all you guys. It's a lot of fun. Johnny Small Pepper. I don't get to talk to Johnny all the time. I'd like to. I got some stuff that I want to do with him, but I'm staying super busy. But Johnny Small Pepper always comes in and hits the share button for our streams. And I don't, not pimping that out, but that's what you do, and the means of support. When you got friends out there in a community, especially, YouTube creator community, hitting a share button, it's free. It doesn't hurt nothing. If, most people can't supply with, they don't have money to supply with or whatever. They're looking for something people to kind of relate to and hang out with. But, if you want to support, you can always click that share button, and whatever your community is, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, I don't know where you guys hang out, but you can always hit the share button in there. And you know what, when you do that, when we go back and look, we see that it gets shared out, and that makes us feel good when we get shared, because that makes us feel like we're doing a good job. Cruising on down. But Johnny, I thank you, brother. You're my hero. That dude can eat some hot peppers like a champ. Yeah, Nathan, I hate the cold too, bro. It was the ground was covered with snow this morning when I woke up. The dog wasn't happy when I sent him outside. And a few hours later, so here is my trusty cell phone. My trusty cell phone is in a OtterBox. I've had this. This is a Galaxy S10e. I've had it for approximately, I don't know, a little over 3 years or something like that. I think that's how long it's been out. Now, I was planning on getting a new phone anyway, but check this out. Can you see what happened to my camera there? I had to clean out the glass, but that's got a depth of almost 1/4 of an inch. So that's raised above. The lens for my camera sits back there. And somehow or another, I broke it. So today I ended up going and ordering me a new phone. Cruising through, I'm going to catch up on the chat here a little bit. Zompocalypse is Shanks. He's got a channel that he does something. He does a few things like that. We swing over and check him out every now and again. Christopher Fields, who's your favorite football team in college? And why Alex keeps hating on my Patriots? Look, Alex is gonna hate on Tom Brady for life. Uh, Alex's true feelings about Tom Brady is not his stay with New England. New England is a different kind of feeling. She doesn't particularly care for New England, but has a lot of respect for the way Belichick coaches and the way he runs a team. She despises Tom Brady because everybody just sucks the proverbial Tom Brady. I'm not going to say, but that's the way it is, and she doesn't think that a lot of his accolades, even though he's thrown at a high pass rate, he's checked down his whole life, and I think she feels like he's not a big play quarterback. She feels like he is not, the guy that can lead you really with his arm. He wins with his brain, and so all the praise that he gets, she can contradict that with every other quarterback in the NFL that's ever played because they've done it in less time, or they've done it. She can make an argument and she can stand by it and she'll fight it tooth and nail. Tom Brady's where the hate lies. It does not lie on hating with the Patriots. She has a lot of respect for the way the Patriots play. Yeah, and I know, Chris, it's just her way of thinking. I mean, she loves it when he loses. She loves it when he cries on the sidelines. It makes her happy. Everybody has that person that they don't want to root for. They want to root against. And you know what? The only thing you can say about that is that's a good one, because you can always pick a fight with Tom Brady. Also, college football. So my Indiana Hoosiers suck horribly. I love the Big Ten, but I don't like Ohio State. I really don't like Michigan. So it's really hard for me to love a conference team in football in the Big Ten when I'm not a big fan of some of the other schools because of my love for Indiana. So who I used to root for when Bobby Bowden coached, I was a Florida State fan. Right, and then I kind of I jumped on the Florida bandwagon for a few years there, but here recently, I really don't have a favorite team right now. I like and with these conference realignment, it's really hard to get behind somebody. We got some Big 12 fans in here. Mickey's a K-State fan. That's a cool program. But I really don't know where my favorite team in lies right now. I would hate to say it's an SEC team, but I like watching, and I'm not a fan, but I like watching Georgia play. I love watching Alabama lose. It's like watching Tom Brady lose for Alex. I like watching Alabama lose. But I can't say I have a favorite team right now. I haven't really found anybody. If I found somebody that I was really wanting to get behind, I would be in here broadcasting games for sure. I'm going to move on down the road a little bit. Everybody's stuck on the $10 million questions. Puppet, you come up with good questions, brother. Real money or crypto? What's up, Crafty? Nice to see you. 10 million now is good enough for me, man. I'm not a greedy soul. If I had 10 million now, I would be in here a lot more. Oh, yes, sir. Tim, I got you. Absolutely. Question, where's Shelby? So between myself, Shelby, and Alex, the work schedules, Alex's schedule always changes. Shelby is a second shifter, pretty permanent unless somebody screws up. So she's usually at work at this time. I got to be at work at 3 a.m. before our Sunday stuff this week, because I got one guy that went to the hospital tonight, and then I've got another guy that's getting married tomorrow. So I got to be at work at 3 a.m., but unfortunately I can be here for this. Let's roll on down. That's Mickey's question. Where's Shelby? What is this thing, money, you speak of? Man, it's that stuff that they give you when you get a paycheck after working your 40 hours for a week, in my case 50 usually, and then it magically disappears, kind of like pixie dust, or think of some, like unicorns and stuff like that. Okay, rolling lasts a little faster. You got to upgrade to try the Google Pixel. So Anthony, my wife's oldest son, who stays with us as well, he got the Google 7. He's going to get the Google 7 Pixel Pro, whatever it is. He's getting it, so I'll get to check it out. But I stayed with the Samsung Galaxy. I got the 22 Pro, I think is what it is. My cable provider gives me a great rate for it, and they gave me a good chunk of change for this in return. Didn't cost me a whole lot, and they give it to you interest free, so you don't have to pay interest on it, so you can stretch it out. Anyone but the Pats. I don't believe that. I would rather see the Patriots win than a lot of teams, especially without Tom Brady. So I would rather see the Patriots win over, let's just say a lot of teams going through. Chris, absolutely right. Not a big play quarterback. Very efficient, smart, intelligent, passionate. God, he's a passionate guy. There's things that we all really respect about Tom Brady, but you know what? When you're talking Alex, you're just talking that she has disdain because because everybody thinks that he's on his own has accomplished a lot, and he has accomplished a lot from the quarterback position, but in a very structured manner within a team. And I believe that, like you talk about guys like Peyton Manning, who didn't have an offensive line, never had a defense that can get out, that got out there and won games. She has more respect for those type of guys that struggled with it. You know what I'm saying? I think she feels that those guys were a better quarterback. If you plug somebody like that into New England, if New England would have put the priority on a quarterback and got somebody that was one of those guys, let's say Drew Brees or somebody like that, Drew Brees would have, I bet you Belichick might have won 6 or 7 Super Bowls right there in a row with somebody like Brees at the time because of the way he played when he was younger. But that's her point. Never gonna, you'll never change your mind on it too. I don't hate, but I do when it's the Raiders. I actually like the Raiders. I liked them last year for sure with Rich Bisaccia coaching that team. I thought they had excellent character, but I don't like Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is. I just don't look at Derek Carr as a great quarterback. Was that a mistake, Nathan? I'm not sure. I'll see you in a second. I'm not a Derek Carr guy. I think that poor Nathan, I think if they had a better signal caller out there, he'd be in better shape. Oh man, I see some good stuff as we get further along. Nah, I mean, but see that's the point, Puppet. I think the point that like Chris would be making in that instance is that Brady was smart enough to take the check down to the running back and let him run 30 or 40 yards who has an open field, then take a chance on throwing an interception 20 yards down the field. He's going to get a higher net. And if you get yards after catch, if you get that many, I think that's his credit should be not the amount of passing yards he receives, but making the right decision on who he threw to. And I think Tom Brady plays very good football. I don't think half the quarterbacks in the NFL have been as intelligent as he is about decision making on the field. That's why Belichick loved him. Fair enough. He's still going to go down in history. His numbers speak for themselves. His longevity is creating an all new realm of legendary. You can't argue some of that stuff. It's just a comparison thing. But you're right. Still going to be a legend when he retires. Everybody's still going to look to, how many Super Bowls he won. And the fact that he did it at another team is going to be very helpful in his status. But yeah, you will never hear, I don't think you'll ever hear of anybody like that again. Who do you think will win the Eagles game on Monday night? Which one is that? Is that the Eagles and the Cowboys? I've already picked and I can't even remember. Everybody's waiting for the Eagles to start slipping. I don't think they're going to slip a whole lot this year. I think they're on a really good path to about, they play Washington. Washington is getting healthier. I think this game is going to be surprisingly close. I I think Taylor Heineke gives Washington a good chance to stay in the game, but he also gives a good chance to losing the game as well. So call that what you will. But I think the game will be a lot closer than the Eagles want it to be. Maybe a 5 or a 6 point game, but I still think the Eagles are going to win the game. Ah, Chris, of course you like Alabama. I mean, I like I like the fact that I like what Alabama represents, not how dominant they've been in college football. Um, I think Nick Saban is an excellent college coach. I think he has an excellent game plan for college. I would just rather he lose. I Georgia last year was a breath of fresh air. Uh, LSU a few years prior, da 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 da. Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, Tim, the Hoosiers fell to Ohio State today. They shouldn't even, if that game was less than 25 points, I would be shocked. It should have, I haven't seen the score because I've been running around all day and I haven't turned on anything, but I would assume that it was probably 50-14 or 50-10, something like that. Question number 2: where is Loki? Well, my house has 2 levels. It has an upstairs and a basement. Half this basement is livable space, kind of. That's where I'm at now. And with Alex's cat, who's sitting over there asleep on top of the pedestal, down here with me. I don't know if you can see him or not. Right. Now the lights are probably going to mess you up. He's right up there on top of the pedestal. With him being here and down here, that really Loki is not a fan of kitty cats. So protect the kitty at all costs. Loki will be back as soon as he moves over to the other side. I don't know what for what, Chris, but I appreciate you. And you know what? And never do me one. You never stop defending your points, especially in here. As fun as it is fun to argue and it's fun to deliberate and have conversation. And I hope nobody ever, if we're beating on somebody and you like them, defend them. It's fun. I like it. Do I think Tua is an MVP candidate? Candidate, yes. I think he's definitely on that track. I think with the amount of talent that he has at the wide out position, plus the offensive line playing pretty well to some degree, I really think his numbers are going to reflect MVP stats. But do I think he's the MVP? Absolutely not. Do I think he's overrated? Yes, I do. As soon as I think this year, he might have a good year, and as soon as people start figuring out how to play against him, because these defensive coaches are smart, they're going to figure out a way to take away what he wants to do and make him do things he doesn't want to do. And when you start putting him in a position where he has to overthrow or he has, I think that's going to separate him from guys like Mahomes and Josh Allen and stuff like that. I think that's really going to separate him. Let's see. Yeah, I think Tua is overrated, but I think this year his numbers are going to reflect MVP status. Fair. Prime A-Rod instead of Brady would have gotten 10 Super Bowls in a row. Puppet, I'd like to believe that, but Aaron Rodgers is a head case. If anybody watched or if anybody was in here, when we were in here last season talking about the bull that he was starting before the season, that's when a lot of this started. I really feel like he's a mental case. I feel like he's really got to do something to. I think he needed to be a teammate instead of being wanting to be a coach or a front office guy. And I think the way that he acted, and I think that all led to Davante Adams leaving. And then when he said it wasn't about money, but yet he took a $50 million a year contract, I think that was selfish. I think that at the end of the day, his gripes were about money. If if he pulls his head out of his butt and plays football like he can and can just play football and not be distracted about drama, he might be the best quarterback in the league. If you had the right coaching to keep him in check, absolutely. So if you put him with Belichick, they may not have won 10 in a row, but I bet you they would have had a streak there that would have been pretty rough to beat. I'll give you that. Let's see. Josh Allen is officially questionable to play Sunday against the Minnesota Vikings due to an elbow injury. Do you think the Vikings have a better chance of winning? I do not. I think next man up in Buffalo, the way he played last year with Cleveland when it was his turn to play, I think he did a great job. I don't think he will have any issue running this offense. And I'm waiting, Kirk Cousins is playing well. Everybody in Minnesota is playing well. They're getting by, but I don't think they get by against Buffalo, if that makes any sense. So I'm sticking with the Bills, although I think Minnesota has taken advantage of their schedule, taken advantage of their talent level and just kind of got here. You know what I'm saying? They just always stay there. Okay, I see Alex made it into the chat and Shelby at some point. That's cool. Kyle Caperton says Washington. Disagree, but I like them much better this week than I have in weeks past. I think they're going to be a really tough out. I think it's going to be a very tough out for Philadelphia this week, but they get the win. Could Washington win the game? Absolutely. Divisional matchup. I'm not sure. I think Alex might be off, Nathan, and she should be on her way home because I leave the house about 10:30 to run the boys to work. So it'll be close. So you might get to beat on her for a little while when she gets here. So that'll be cool. Puppet Master says kill the cat, retrieve the doggo. They're both safe and happy, not killing the cat puppet. That's not even fair. Oh, I got you, Alex. I see you over there. Trying to go through the chat as it goes, and it gets a little confusing because we're rolling around. I'm going to keep moving. Huge Michigan fan. Go Blue. Michigan fan. That's awesome. Hey, I hope you come in here during some college basketball this winter when Michigan and Indiana will be playing because that will be a very fun game. I actually think that Michigan's got a really good thing going with their program. I think Indiana copied their coaching choice, going with a former player like Woodson. I really think that will be awesome. If I had to pick a team that I'd like to see win the Big Ten, it's definitely Michigan in football. But I'm not a fan of Michigan because I'm an IU fan. That's just the way it works in this conference. I'm not sure. She should be on her way. Right now, I think Jalen Hurts is front runner for MVP. Yes. If you want to go to a couple years back, a la Aaron Rodgers, leading to a great regular season, that propelled him into the MVP status. So I think Jalen Hurts is the front runner for MVP right now. Mickey's in and says, Alex, let's go. Everybody's showing love for Alex when she shows up. Puppet says we're killing the cat for Loki. No, we are not, Puppet. Miss Shelby stopped in for a second. That's nice. Love Miss Shelby being in here. Wish they were home. Question. If an apocalypse happened, would you rather be a traveling merchant, or a mercenary? Well, bro, if an apocalypse happened, being a traveling merchant, I would have to be a mercenary already. A mercenary is just somebody that kills. A traveling merchant is selling goods and making sure nobody steals his stuff. So I'm going to take traveling merchant because I'm going to say he's already both if he still has his stuff. Fair enough. Dude, I like questions, man. Keep dropping them, man. That's fun. Shinx is an end of the world kind of zombie type of guy, by the way. So you got to show some love to that. Michigan going to beat Ohio State. Where do they play? Once I see that, we'll talk about it. Puppet says he's a merchant. Bored at work, to be honest. That tells me we're not making any money at work. Yeah, Zompocalypse is Shanks, Shelby. That is Brian. Oh, I'm at the bottom. Okay. Oregon-Washington game getting wild. West Coast football does not wind me up. I just can't get into it. Least favorite movie and your favorite movie. Saying what is your least favorite movie is very difficult. I can think so because of my least favorite movie. I turned off after 5 minutes, whatever that may be. Favorite movie. Wow. Oh yeah, that's true, Alex. If you're making lots of money, or if you're making the casino's making lots of money, you being bored, fair enough. Gosh, man, favorite movie's tough. Can we narrow this down a little bit, Puppet? Can we go to least favorite movie that you finished? Oh. Man, I can't say. That's tough. And I don't really have a favorite movie. I have lots of movies that I absolutely love. Man, those are just really tough on the spot. Ishtar with Dustin Hoffman. God awful. Never watched it, Mick. Thank God. Puppet, I will come back to those in a minute. I'll think of something for that. Anybody want to bring you dinner? Nathan, I got to call DoorDash. DoorDash will bring you dinner, sir. Fair statement. But today we were watching. We did see a little bit of college football when we were in the restaurant today, but I was forced to watch. I can't even remember the game. We were at Quaker Steak and Lube having a nice sandwich today. Fellowship of the Ring. You know what? So the Lord of the Rings series is probably at least one of my favorite series of movies. Anything with, I guess you would call them sequels or whatever. And then throw the prequels in with The Hobbit. I think I enjoyed that more than I did the Star Wars collection. For sure. I definitely like that. Back to the Future is A Pizzle's favorite. Man, I actually like that movie. I thought Michael J. Fox was a horrible actor, but he did pretty well in that trilogy. That's the word, bro. Yeah, because just picking movies like that is so hard because I've walked out of the theater thinking, man, that was the best thing I ever saw, and then I go back and see something else and be like, I love that too. Even the Harry Potter movies were all good. No, I have not, and that's the Amazon Prime, right? Rings of Middle Earth, Rings of Power. That's it. Fast Times at Ridgemont High is a great movie. Do you know what? I can say that was one of my favorites growing up for sure. Also, yeah, they said not to watch it in here. You're right, Alex. That's the reason why we didn't probably. What's up, Shy? Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Let's just go through that genre right after that. And then you had movies like The Breakfast Club. I love The Breakfast Club. I thought that movie was well done. No Country for Old Men is one of my favorites of all time. I think that's a very well done movie. I like stuff like that. I like stuff that makes me, we were talking today about, movies that actually scared me when I was younger. And when I was a kid, the Nightmare on Elm Street movie came out. And the first Nightmare on Elm Street messed me up. if you want to talk about a movie that messed Alex up, she'll tell you that Scream messed her up. Because same kind of scenario, a little too young and was watching it. Whose fault was that? That was mine. From Dusk Till Dawn, love that movie too. Quentin Tarantino, I really like. That movie was well put together. I love George Clooney in that. I like almost everything Quentin Tarantino did. Pulp Fiction, absolutely great. A lot of people hate that movie. I think it's absolutely awesome. The movie didn't mess you up. Clarify. Jeepers Creepers terrify me. Yeah, I can see that. Oh, yeah, dude. Tim, did you see that? Let me get that one as soon as that pops up. So Gran Torino is my favorite. I just saw a clip from that movie again the other day, and it made me. Oh, I thought it was because. Never mind. It's not a lie. Okay, I'll tell. I can tell the story here in a second. Gran Torino is an excellent movie. But did you see the version that Ford just released as a released a new Gran Torino? I don't know if it was a prototype or whatever, but I saw a shot of it the other day, a video. It looks flipping awesome. Okay, so I don't need to tell it, if that's what you're saying. If I don't need to tell it, I won't. Okay, I got it. Yeah, she had an incident that compounded. How's that? When I was, here we go, says a lot. When I was 6, my parents put on Wrong Turn, went to the middle of the film and told me this is what happened if you talk to strangers. Never talk to strangers again. That's traumatic, Puppet, for a lot of reasons. And I got to say that the reason why that's traumatic is that's what my stepfather-in-law did to the kids in the family about Jeffrey Dahmer. So he tried to use fear as a teaching method, and I don't think that's very healthy. And Alex says that my trauma isn't story time. So there you go. It's not story time, but it is interesting, and for the wrong reasons. I mean, it would definitely be clear why, but yeah, I understand. Darkness Falls, I like that one too. Yeah. Let's see. The horror genre movies were. I'll tell you, probably one of my favorite science fiction movies of all time has got to be Aliens, the sequel. I think that was probably one of my favorite movies ever done. I definitely loved the little girl in that. Bill Paxton in that was excellent. It was a good job. Unforgiven's another. When you classify great movies, there's so many different varieties of movies that you can classify as great for different reasons. When it's crazy when you're a kid, a certain movie always scares you, but when you look back at it as an adult, you say to yourself, that wasn't even scary. Well, look at the time. I mean, for example, my youth, and I was a little too young when they first started coming out, but I got to watch them later on VHS and Betamax. But like Friday the 13th had came out, and it was in its infant stages, and it was a phenomenon in the country. Everybody really was, that was some scary stuff at the time, that story was great for the original. So John Carpenter's like, hey, how can I capitalize on this? And so he comes up with he creates the character Michael Myers, who eventually surpassed Jason Voorhees in the fear rate, and is still putting out movies today, that in that story, because the story never gets old. and everybody still goes to the theater and watches it generationally. So we went from Gen Xers all the way to these flipping millennials that that are in that category that are into those type of movies now because of that. Yeah, there was Alex was not typical. We'll just say that her life changed when she was little like that. She was not a typical kid. But I never let my kids really walk the streets much either. I mean, I know she says that. I didn't. I tried to keep them as close to home as possible when they were little. I did not want them getting out, and basically didn't want them playing in the front yard. Original Texas Chainsaw Massacre versus Hellraiser. Hellraiser is a little more science fiction to me and a lot less possible. Texas Chainsaw Massacre scares me a lot more. I don't think there's any way to argue that point. But I like Pinhead. Right on, coming on down a little further. Brian asks, if the world ended and we were rebuilding, what would be the first sport to be played? I think you go back to the Roman times. I think you would have gladiator arenas. I think you would have, so what do you want to call it? MMA? MMA again with sticks and knives and metal. I think that would be the first thing. I think because at that point in time, there's no fun in games, correct? So you put your criminals out there and have them fight to the death. Man, I got a dark way of thinking. Yeah, for sure. And then some, Mickey, clarify into different categories as well, brother. I mean, gosh, there's some horror films that really rate high in the drama category as well. I like, can't get it off my tongue. It'll come to me in a second. My gosh. That's the other thing. I can't get things out of my mouth sometimes. Faux snap. Let's come back to movies in a second. Favorite candy as a kid. Different types of candy for sure. So if you were asking me what kind of chocolate candy I liked as a child, I'm still a Reese Cup addict. Actually, I like the little miniatures better than I do the cups. Don't ask why, I just do. Reese Cups were always huge for me. If I was to look for a snack at the store or something like that, when they came out with super size where you added 2 more cups, I'd buy them. Second favorite, then if you go to like a gummy candy or something like that, hot tamales. I love cinnamon. I also, if you get into rock candy, I like cinnamon discs. So I'm very cinnamony-ish. How much was candy back in the day? I can remember buying, oh, come on, Puppet. It wasn't that cheap. I can remember buying a candy bar for 35 cents. What sport do you feel changed the most? From the time I was a kid till now, Shinksy? What sport has changed the most? That might be football. Football has went from brutality to let's tiptoe around with the most rule changes. It's become the most economically whorish game. Football has changed a lot. But if you was to classify car racing as a sport, I would say NASCAR changed a ton because they were trying to keep growing and they kept changing the rules to try to make it tighter. And really all they did was just change the rules a lot to where it ticked off real fans. Because let's be fair, NASCAR had some real fans. I think they still have some of those people around, but a lot of people bailed. Yeah, NASCAR got terrible. You go past 2003 or 2004, NASCAR started to really suck. Let's see. Alex is with me on football. Everybody says hot tamales are great. Puppet says basketball changed a lot too when Allen Iverson joined. I think basketball really started changing. Even before that, basketball really started changing, and I know I'm going way back, but when Magic Johnson came out as a 6'9" point guard, I think that's when the scope of your positions in basketball changed, because originally you had one guy that just dribbled the basketball and passed. And then you had two guys, a wing and a two guard that shot. And then you had your 4 and your 5 down on the blocks and rebounding for mid range and under the basket. That game is not the same today as it was then. Today, they want 5 guys in the NBA to play, be able to play all 5 positions, or at least be able to fill in. So you can take a 6-7 point guard and he can go down and defend a 7-footer on the baseline. I know it's not a fair, but they want guys that can do that, and they want everybody to be able to dribble and play with athleticism. That's the reason why my Hoosiers look really good this year, because that is the team that they're going for. They're pushing NBA style in college. But basketball has changed a lot. Iverson was, when he was in his time, was phenomenal. Mickey, I would pay to see that, dude, because that would be hilarious. They changed like 7 rules because of Iverson. Yeah, I mean, are you talking? I guess you're talking about in the NBA. Like I said, he was a different. His quickness and decision making and how he played the game was a little above and beyond. Just didn't last as long as it should have. And I heard the door open upstairs, so we do have somebody else that has made it home. At 9:48. Sometimes, yeah, Puppet. There's another reason that I haven't jumped on the NBA bandwagon, because I just can't get behind some of it. Alex definitely loves Dallas for sure. Yeah, you're making a case for top 20 player of all time for sure in that instance. I am Prince Caspian. Chris made it home too. 30K on close. But no, you get back to some of the movies that are out there. I haven't, the last 5 years, I've not watched a lot of different movies. I've not been into that. Nico wafers are the bomb. Now or laters are a close second. I can do some now or laters every now and again. Chronicles of Narnia was another set of good was a good movie, but it really yeah, it's just another one of those things that was kind of different. We had a different type of genes. My wife's grandmother, when she was getting older, took our family down there so she could see all the kids and stuff like that. And we put that on there because she's a very religious woman, very devout. And she made us turn it off when the lion died. Could not get the gist of what the movie was about. And yeah, so that was the last time I think we watched that movie. Have you watched The Joker? Movie is comedy gold. I have not. I spend more time doing research, editing videos. Okay, Puppet. Yeah, well, look, perspective from an 80-year-old woman. Do you remember candy cigarettes? They tasted like chalk, but made you look cool. There you go, man. Training our youth to grab cigarettes at 15 and 14 years old. Want to be cool like the big kids, like mom and dad. Candy cigarettes. Don't you love marketers? The root of all evil. Chico sticks were awesome. Don't think I had Chico sticks. What about bubblegum cigarettes? I just remember the ones that tasted like that chalky candy. Snowpiercer looks good. I haven't seen Joker, and I haven't seen Parasite either. You know what, I'm going to tell you that if it's the last few years, there's very few movies that I've seen. Nutter Butters are okay, Mickey. I'm not a huge fan. What is hey, I'm going to ask a dang question. Give me the right to. What is everybody's favorite bar food or tailgate food for football? That's a question to be asked. What does everybody like from tailgaters? Smarties, I still like, Chris. I dig them. Favorite tailgate food? Put it out there right now. I'm unfriending you now. Chris says burgers. Yeah, wings and burgers. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, wings and burgers can be solid. Uh, definitely, definitely something that I would be interested in. You know, when you tailgate. There you go, Mickey. Barbecue ribs or brisket. Now that's what I call tailgating food right there. If you're tailgating correctly, I would definitely. I look for the barbecue when I'm on tailgate. Chili cheese fries, Tim. Heck yeah, I can get into some of that too. But right now, barbecue is good. Barbecue is solid, and hey, you know what? Lo and behold, the better half of the day, the better half is definitely here. So, and she says Kansas City barbecue. She'll be on in a minute, I'm sure, popping in here. I like anything. I like anything that's smoked meat, that kind of stuff. For man, some barbecue nachos or anything like that's really good too. Something that's not really mainstream food, but when you can sit out there and somebody makes it. And Shelby says, I just like food, and I'm down with that too. Jeff W. What's up, Jeff? Tailgating at Arrowhead. We bought burnt ends, right on, ribs and brisket at LC's near the stadium. Better than we can make in 4 hours. And we sat in the parking lot. Best thing we made was Bloody Marys. See, that sounds like a good time. But yeah, lo and behold, that kind of stuff, tailgating, you know, that's real food. That's really awesome food. Now, when I go to the restaurant, I like to sit and eat wings and stuff there. I'll eat a burger at the restaurant. Yeah, but man, you're looking for that kind of stuff. You know, we're festival goers as well, and we went to the Rock on the Range Sonic Temple Festival a few years back, and we've been trying to go ever since. And we might try to do it again this year if it works out. But one of the things that they had up there that we just absolutely fell in love was Grippo mac and cheese. They made this homemade mac and cheese in a big vat, and they put Grippo barbecue potato chips on it. I'm going to come up and grill some halibut steaks for Alex and Shelby. Tim, you come up anytime. You can come and stay. Take your vacation up here if you like. You can come hang out with us for however long they let you off. For sure. Let's see. Ollie's gives you $20 if you're using his sauce at your tailgate. I met Ollie Gates in Arrowhead parking lot. That's nice. $20 is $20. Yeah, Alex agrees. Hopefully next spring and summer we spend some time doing some grilling. Deep dish Chicago pizza. Well, there is nothing that's more fonder in my heart than deep dish pepperoni pizza, Puppet. I'm down for that as well. Thick. That's right, bro. Thick pizza is the deal. It's I'm gonna make a statement. It's almost like, how many kids do I have? Well, okay, I have two that are 100% mine. I have one, and I have two that I have one that is, I consider 50% mine. And then I have the newest one, which is my wife's oldest son, which we're buddies. I'm claiming him. And so if you want to get technical, I'm going to say four, but I've raised two, and almost, if you put them together, I've raised three, because I would consider my nephew, Cody, as like I had him for a few years as well. But Alex and Ethan, those are my two 100 percenters. Sadie, she might as well be 100%. She's a 50 percenter. And then, and then you got Cody and Anthony. And then Tim is my adopted son, Alley Cat Treasures. He's my adopted son that's older than me. And I'm my own grandpa. No, man. This is different in here. Y'all call me whatever. You all are becoming family in here. The ones that are in here for this kind of stuff as well, and hang out with Alex and I, you guys are our fam. I'm going to tell you that when we're not in here, we have conversations about you guys. So it's that pronounced how we feel about this community of people that we're assembling in here. Nathan's proud to be the grandson. Yeah, I mean, as far as grandpa goes, I'm grandpa to this. I mean, this is my grandchild right now. Can't get off my lap, and he's sitting there clawing the snot out of me. Oh, you can't bring yourself in? There. I thought you would bring yourself in. You have the power.
I wasn't going to cut you off.
No, man, just having a blast. It's a lot of fun. I didn't get the opportunity, but now you're rolling in. Perfect timing.
I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes.
Well, I just thought you would bring yourself up when you was ready. I thought you were still doing something.
No, I'm just sitting in here texting in the chat. I'm very busy.
Yeah, but see, everybody's been waiting for you, and I think I've just about burnt all their questions through. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask you some of the questions that I had earlier. Puppet's first question of the day was: would you rather have $1 billion that you can only spend after being 75 years old, or $10 million now, but you can no longer make any more money after you take the money?
I can make $10 million last for eternity. So,
see, that's kind of the way I felt too. Money management's not that hard. $10 million for a 20-something year old shouldn't be too hard to manage for life.
You think, but we've seen people win the lottery and not have anything.
There's a documentary out there. I don't know if they've remade it again, but it was back in the day. It was called Curse of the Lottery. And a lot of these people that won big time money in the lottery were completely broke and beggars, within no time at all. Also, Mickey asked earlier, with McKinnon out for Sunday's game, do you think Ronald Jones gets a chance to play? He was good in Tampa Bay and good enough for them to keep him on the practice squad. I say let him play. My answer to that was no. I don't think he plays.
I don't think so either. They still got Pacheco, and they've got Clyde. I think, and they've got their fullback, Michael Burton. So, unless he might dress, but I don't see him playing.
I put Kadarius Toney into getting some of them wide receiver screens and stuff like that. Some of
Well,
them.
I think Kadarius Toney is going to have a bigger role this week, and I also think we're going to see more of Marquez Valdez-Scantling with Mecole Hardman being ruled out. I think the main focus is going to shift to those guys. Look, Kansas City doesn't have a run game. They've been saying every week we need to work on our run game, but they don't do it. So why is that going to change? I don't think that's going to be a factor. Our leading rusher last week was Patrick Mahomes. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. I think like I said, I think he might dress and they might put him into block. But that's probably as far as that goes.
Yeah, so we went through a little bit of that. We did go into the Washington Eagles game a little bit again. My take on that
I was just listening. I just wanted to hear.
Okay, I didn't know if you were in here yet. I wasn't sure when you got here.
I was just listening because I wanted to hear your answers and what you said about me while I wasn't here.
Oh, that's nice. So in your defense, did I defend your point again on Tom Brady well, or was I off?
I mean, you were off, but it was enough, I guess, to make someone happy.
I wasn't sure if that's, it's really hard to speak for you 100% because it's very difficult to know your entire take on anything. So that's why I asked, because you said you were lurking and listening. So
he said, what about Sky Moore? I think he is going to get a lot less reps than people want. And that's just how Andy Reid runs his system. He might not kick return anymore, but he will get reps, but not as many as other guys. Kadarius Toney is in year 2, so he's probably still going to see more than Sky Moore, but he will get worked into the system. Look at Mecole Hardman. He didn't have a huge role his first 2 years. Granted, Tyreek Hill was there, but look, now you got Juju, MVS, and now you have Mecole. So you have to think about all the guys that are still in front of him in terms of veteran experience and time played with the Chiefs. He will get his time. Some of these guys, MVS has a 3-year contract, but Juju only has one. They're still speculating OBJ going to Kansas City because they have space for him right now. There's a lot of guys that won't be there forever while they're building Sky Moore up to be that definite guy when some of these guys are gone.
So you lead me to another question. Mecole Hardman has, especially the last few games, has played very, and I only say it because it's the comparison to make. It's very Tyreek Hill-esque. He's played that type of role in the offense along with Travis Kelce. And I know, do you think that at this point his ability is starting to come out and overshadow MVS and Juju, or do you just think that those two guys are not 100% in the range of where Mahomes likes to play?
Well, I think Juju has more receptions, more yards than any of those guys. But other than Travis Kelce, of course, he will probably be our leading reception guy until he retires. But I think, and Patrick Mahomes answered this question at the beginning of the year when they were talking about fantasy football and they asked him about it. He said, "Listen, it's whatever guy I want that day. You just have to try to figure it out before the game and start the right one." Mahomes is not a selfish quarterback. We know that. And so whatever guy's open is going to get the ball. He's going to continue going to those guys to work in, to get that relationship with, to build them up like Sky Moore, against Buffalo, the game-ending interception, he was trying to get the ball to Sky Moore, and that ended up losing us the game. But he's trying to build the young guy up without giving him a complete, Travis Kelce type role in their offense. Like you'll watch him if you watch him play. He's got his guys right now. That's Juju, Mecole, and Travis. But randomly through the game, he'll slip into other guys. And I think that's the working their way up to being those guys. Like, you have to start somewhere. You're not going to get a dominant role the second you walk into Arrowhead. And that's not how Andy Reid works. And really, that's not how Mahomes works. But Mahomes makes all of those guys feel included. We have so many pass catchers in that offense, and all of them have receptions. Our backup tight ends have touchdowns, both of them.
Yeah,
And so, they're getting their time. They understand the system they're in, and they're fine with the larger or the smaller role they get as long as they make do with what opportunity they're given.
absolutely. FL Thunder Digging with Rob stopped in. He drove about 400 miles over 2 days to do some detecting and stuff, saying hi, showing love. Also, Puppet
Always
asked
a
another
pleasure, Rob.
question. Puppet asked another question. If you could pick any animal, creature, monster from any fantasy world as a pet, what would you pick? You can go first.
Well, I was thinking about the question above that, so I hadn't got here, so I have
Oh,
not thought yet.
let's do that. Let's see.
Nope, right here.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, I didn't see that one. Sorry,
He
Shinksy.
said, if you do gaming stuff like Madden, would you do random picks for us fans can play with you? I'm totally down with any of that kind of stuff. Like, I love it. Look, all of you wanna beat me at Madden, and I'm gonna let you because I'm just bad at Madden. Do I love playing it? Is it a trash game? Both of those answers are yes. But if anybody wants to come wipe the floor with me when I get to the point where I'm able to do that with you guys, you're all welcome. I'm trying to get this one over here to get into it as well because I know he'll have fun. But yes, to answer your question, 100%. Christopher
Go.
said, didn't we beat the Chiefs? Chiefs did not play the Patriots this year, so they're just getting that out of the way. Uh, Reed doesn't like to use his rookies unless he has to. I think that is his way of, like I said, he doesn't. I don't think it's unless he has to. I think it's they get limited roles until they become, they work their way up. It's a like a list of seniority almost. They're gonna go to their veteran guys first, and then they will work their way, acclimating everybody else. You have to keep what works working. You can't just go away from Travis Kelce because you drafted Sky Moore. Like, you can't go away from Juju even though you just signed him because you drafted Sky Moore. Like, you're not gonna ignore Mecole Hardman because you got a new guy. He's been there for 4 years, like, they're gonna start with what they know and the trickle effect into
Well,
what they
and
have.
and let's be fair. It seems like Kansas City does a really good job of utilizing their rookies in the last couple years of their contract. I know the first rounders get a 5th-year option, whatever, but it seems like they just kind of build them up to that 4th year and try not to expect them a lot. Now the defensive rookies, some of them, and some of the guys play
Well,
line.
the
That's different.
defensive, they all are playing.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like your skill players on offense, they kind of just work their way in unless they bully their way in. They get a chance, and if they do well, they get more time. So that just tells me that Sky Moore is a little bit more of a development. He's not quite there yet. He's had his issues this year, but he's definitely talented. So maybe next year you see a little more, year 3, a little more yet. And then by year 4, he's ready to decide whether or not you want to, keep him long term or not. I think Andy Reid does a great job with that. And really fast before we go to the next question, do you think that Bieniemy and Mahomes have kind of got that repaired a little bit because of the way they've looked the last couple games?
I don't know. I think Andy Reid's calling the plays now. Something tells me the second, because Andy Reid did call the plays against the Niners, and look what happened in that game. Totally different Chiefs. Uh, I don't know. I don't know if we're ever gonna know. Um, it almost feels like he won't be there next year, like Eric Bieniemy. And not because a head coaching job opened up. Like, it just feels like I don't feel like it's prepared. Like, they say it's just banter on the field and an intense situation, which it could be. But we've seen this too many times for it to just be coincidence, Like, there is real issues. We don't have to talk about it, or they will talk about it, one or the other. But there are real issues, whether anyone wants to admit that or not. And, I don't like it. I don't like the know that because I do like Bieniemy. I mean, he's been good for us in Mahomes' career since he's been there. Um, I think he's
But
been there a little bit longer than Mahomes, actually.
but I think you're 100% correct. I think that their time together has where they've had the up, and it might be getting a little bit stale into where everybody else is catching up. It might be time for a new voice. I think Bieniemy is going to end up with a head coaching job, or if not, another premier OC job. But you're right. It might be time. It's kind of just strange watching them work. Did you have an answer for Puppet's pet question?
I think a basilisk.
I was thinking of flipping Mogwai, and you're going, I get the basilisk from Harry Potter.
No, I mean basilisk came before Harry Potter. I
Well, I
wasn't
know.
even thinking of Harry Potter when I said that. But like a giant freaking snake, dude. First of all, everyone hates snakes, so no one would come around you. And if you did, if someone came around and they bothered you, they wouldn't last very long.
Yeah, I was thinking like a Mogwai when he said that because it's kind of cute. But there's a couple creatures that are out there in the fantasy world that would be really cool. Uh,
Also, Mickey said I skipped his question. I went back. I didn't see his question, so you're just gonna have to tell me again.
the
And Jeff said, Madden is a great way to learn basic routes and plays and see the field from the end zone rather than the sideline. Fun way to learn some of the basics. So this is a real conversation I had with a very disgruntled Colts fan at work today. Because he was like, "Oh, I haven't seen you in a week. How do you feel about Jeff Saturday?" And I said, "Jeff Saturday is going to spend the next 24 to 48 hours playing Madden." And that's exactly what Sam Ellinger is going to look like on a football field, trying to play Madden. You know, the basic terms of Madden. But, and that sounds so dumb, but part of me feels like that's what McDaniels is doing over with Tua and Tyreek and Jalen right now, because I have a Madden squad on offense. And so, like, I just feel like that it's a great way to learn. Jeff Saturday's never head coached, and this play caller has never called plays. So I feel like that's exactly what's gonna be. He's gonna go play a lot of Madden as the Raiders and as the Colts, so he can learn both of these teams to an extent. And I feel like that's the best way to go about it. If you have no experience, you got to find somehow.
yeah, so it's about time for me to run the kids to work.
Also,
Quick,
before you go,
have I ever collected something from metal detecting that was cursed and or haunted? I don't think so. I have found some really cool stuff. I don't think I found anything that I would deem cursed or haunted. No, I think that's a
no,
big.
but I got a question. Well, do we want to go ghost hunting eventually?
That would be cool. I would do that for fun.
Like, I feel like we should go ghost hunting because one, I'm a little crybaby with anxiety, and you eat that up like it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And so I feel like we would have fun. I mean, maybe I wouldn't have fun, but afterwards I'd be like, okay, that was worth it.
Some friends of mine went to that insane asylum and tuberculosis hospital down in Louisville a few years back before they tore it down, and they had a blast. What up, Chad?
See, Jeff, there is more positives than just, it being a giant snake. You could have cool statues in your yard of people you hate, and you can throw toilet paper and spray paint them. Of
Oh, and
course, Alex
yeah,
said snake.
really quick. Yeah, of course, Alex said a snake. And really quick to Jeff. And Jeff W. Madden is a great way to learn some of the basic roots and stuff. Hey, man, you just figured out Kyler Murray's study program.
No, dude. Kyler Murray does not study nothing. But
Oh,
exactly, and I'm coming back to you, Mickey, I promise. But like I gave him, like, I told him this at work today, and I was like, it sounds like the most dumb and like childish answer ever. But these have the players you're playing against, and maybe not a fairly ranked ability, but he's probably playing the Colts versus Raiders right now, trying to learn how this Raiders defense is just naturally set up. Like, you can learn so much. Even though the playbooks are slightly outdated, you can learn a lot about these teams by just running a couple games of Madden.
definitely learn
And you
about
can
new.
also play the franchise mode and play as the coach, really.
I mean, I know that the offensive playbook changes on Madden quite a bit, but really the defensive sets are pretty well set in stone. The styles of defense that you play in Madden are still the same 3 or 4 different styles they play today.
But back to Mickey's question, I'm not ignoring. He says, if you were stranded on a desert island and can pick who you're stranded with, whom would you choose and why? Okay, am I stranded with like one person or multiple people? Like, what are my options there? Because I feel like it would vary if it was only one person than if it were multiple people. Because, like, you have to choose wisely if you're picking more than one person.
That's a loaded question.
Because, like, I've got a valid answer for both. One person, well, it'd have to be Shelby because Shelby is like a second me. But if I could pick more than one person, I'd pick Shelby and my sister. And then you would probably be my third person. Like, but me, Shelby, and my sister have a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys do get a little rowdy. And it's definitely three different areas of personality in that group of them three, too, because Sadie is way dramatic, Alex is way lethargic, and Shelby's somewhere in the middle.
Shelby's just chill, like, all the time. I don't know how she's so chill all the time.
What's up? Go Hoosiers, right on, bro. Next Friday, I hope to see you in here when they play Xavier. I had to get that out. And I love that Pizzle says the Cardinals haven't won since the new Call of Duty came out. Coincidence. That's great. But thank you guys. You all been awesome for me. If you all are still here when I get back, I will jump back in. I got to go to work at 3 a.m. So that means I'll be home by noon. So that ought to be really good tomorrow.
Yeah, you can run multiple streams tomorrow.
If I feel like it and get a nap when I get home in the morning, if I get home early enough,
It also depends on what games you get because you're not going to stream 2 games if one of them's just really bad.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. If you see me pop on at 1, stop in and hang out. If not, I'll be back in probably 45 minutes or so. Thank you, guys.
Have a good one. What's up, everybody? Question 5. Would you eat another human to stay alive, or would you rather starve to death / be eaten by another survivor? So I feel like I have 2 different answers. Like, yeah, I would eat another human to stay alive. But if there was another person worth saving, and they were willing to eat a person to stay alive, then I would allow that. But like, if it was just like me and a random person, yeah, I would eat that person to stay alive if I absolutely had to. Been all the ghost towns in Washington fun. I went with the Psychological Research Society in Missouri. Some places who full on think they're gonna find ghosts and it's fun. They're on the edge the whole time. Look, that's how I am, man. I've got too much anxiety, but like I like watching other people do it. It would be fun. If I die, eat me. I guess it all depends on who dies first. Like, if they just died, then okay, yeah, let's just eat them because they're already dead. Like, that's a no-brainer. But like if it was like my sister and me and another person and someone died, like I don't know who the other person is, or if it was come down to me or my sister, I'd probably like let my sister live. But if it was just me and a random, yeah, I mean, they'll be fine. Dinner was good, feeling a little better. You just eat dinner right as we start talking about eating people. I mean, human meat can't. I mean, I'm not like pro eating people, but if that's your only resort, you gotta kind of have to throw that thought away a little bit. If there's nothing, I think my dogs want dinner, dude. I want some dinner. I'm starving. I definitely could go. I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. I've been eating dinner. I just got done when eating people came up. This conversation always ends up in, so what'd you eat? That's true. Listen, people are not on my this list, but I would probably try anything at least once. But having to settle for ramen. Dude, I like ramen. I don't eat ramen as much as I used to, but I do enjoy it. tastes sweet like cream cheese. That's if anyone in this chat right now would know, it would be you, Puppet. Yeah, I'm gonna say you can't go wrong with ramen. Wrong with ramen. You can always dress it up however you like, and you know, you can always make ramen much more than what it seems like on the outside. And also, it's not that bad. People who hate on ramen are dumb. Talk about go-karts while I'm gone. Question is, are you ready? I'm always ready. Well, I'm never ready, but I'm always ready. So yes and no and yes. I used to have a go-kart and everyone was like, "Alex, why don't you ever let anybody drive it?" And I'm like, "Because I don't want anyone to wreck it." And they were like, "No one's going to wreck it." And then the one and only time I ever let someone else drive it, I get in the passenger seat and they run us off the road, which is there's a hill right next to it, and we tumble into like a just mass of thorn bushes. And so, yeah, that's why I never did, but it's fine. I was in Venice and they eat a lot of horse and was gonna do it, but backed out. Just didn't need to know how that tastes that bad. That's fair. I've eaten buffalo multiple times, but the as an adult, I've only had buffalo once, and that was by choice. But as a child, um, my grandpa was like straight edge cowboy, and well, he still is. He's a truck driver and he's a cowboy, and he used to like raise cattle and raise buffalo and whatever. But he had one buffalo, and like, he let all the grandkids hang out with it. We pet it, we bathed it, we kept it taken care of. And one day he told us that the buffalo was sick and that it had to be put down, and we were really like distraught about it. That was like our family pet. And then like he waited until like all of the grandkids were all sitting at the dinner table together. We were eating burgers and he was like, "Yo, how's Buffy taste?" And I just remember that being like the most traumatizing thing for so long for me. I had to been like, I don't know, 9. And so you know, I ate buffalo unwillingly as a child, and I didn't eat burgers for a very, very long time because of that. But buffalo's actually pretty good. People be eating raccoon and possum. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man. But the people who just choose to, they just pick up roadkill. That's weird. Question 6: if you're forced to watch one sport for the rest of your life, would it be golf, soccer, or cricket? Soccer. I mean, I played soccer. I know a lot about it. I don't really watch it all that much. I do watch Louisville's soccer team, but they are not major league. I don't. They're not on TV, so like I'll go watch them like once a year or so. But golf, I'd rather play golf. I can't watch it. It's the worst, and I've never actually watched cricket, so maybe my opinion would change if I watched it, but I doubt it. It would probably be soccer. I'm gonna start you out and go with his go-to meal. Zach Wilson's go-to meal is chicken, white rice, potato, or sub the potato with broccoli. Dude, I love chicken and white rice and potatoes. I love just chicken and rice, period. He's goated for that. Golf is fun to bet on. I have never bet on golf, I don't think. Well, I put in like one random parlay and it was like 4 sports and it was just random stuff. I I missed on one of the basketball ones. Last question before I hop off. All right, hit me with it. You're watching the sports would be like immortal because every day of your life would feel like an eternity. That's true. That is a fact. Yeah, I've watched a few matches of golf in my life, and like it's exciting, like the cool like hole in ones or like the cool like hole in two like long distance shots that go in. Like it's cool seeing highlights, but I cannot just sit and watch like a day of golf. Like these people that play golf, they're there all day for multiple days, and I don't think I could just sit and watch it. If anything, that's a sport you play and you don't watch. And cricket, I don't really know that much about cricket, to be honest. His breakfast is eggs, bacon, pancakes, glass of milk, and a protein shake. Why doesn't he just? I feel like the protein shake, you just put the milk in it, but I guess I don't know. Um, which do you like more? Shows, movies, books, or music? Music, 100%. I mean, I like TV shows a lot. I'm constantly watching a TV show. I have like all of the streaming apps on my phone, so I can just watch TV wherever I go. But I couldn't live without music. Like if I had to give up all of them but one, it would be music. But eggs, bacon, and pancakes. I'm a waffle person, but pancakes are fine. That doesn't sound like a half bad breakfast, though. Yeah, I feel like music, without a doubt, has got to be the right answer there. It's so weird because he's got this stream pulled up on his computer downstairs, and I can hear myself talking. I don't know. That is a tough question, though. Got a book to write. Hey, Puppet, thanks for harassing Papa while I was gone and spending your time in here tonight. I do appreciate it, and I know he does too. But have a nice rest of your night, and good luck on your book. I can't wait to read it when you publish it and become a New York Times best-selling author. I had to think of how that is worded, but it will happen. I legit had to read over 100 articles to find his diet. You think that would have been easier to find than 100 articles worth, but I am grateful for your dedication. It's milk, though. I told you don't drink coffee in the morning. There's no way he drinks coffee. I just can't believe it. I still don't believe he's ever had a cup of coffee in his entire life. You got scared by Screaming? No, I was not scared of that movie. I just don't like it. There's a whole story, and it has nothing to do with the movie. And that's not my fault. Trauma changes people. My dad just likes to twist things to make me sound like a baby. That's all it is. I'm telling you, the one movie that really did mess me up was that freaking Darkness Falls movie, because I can't remember how young I was, but I was very, very young, and like that tooth fairy just scared the crap out of me, and like I was like scared to like, even if the door was like open and there was like a shadow behind it, I wouldn't even walk in it. Uh I feel like watching that as an adult now, I would probably enjoy it, but as like a very young child, it was rough. Thank you, Puppet. Appreciate you. Favorite concert you've ever been to? Hmm. Hmm. I know festivals are not really considered a concert, but my favorite festival was uh my first Warp Tour. That day was incredible. It was just an entire day of concerts, but if I had to pick one concert, I don't know. I've been to like probably 200. uh in 2000 and I want to say 13. It was in March. Um I saw it was the opener was Issues. The next band was Let Live. The band, and then the band before the headliner was Of Mice and Men with Austin Carlisle, and then the headliner was Bring Me the Horizon, and it was the first time I'd ever seen them live. People make fun of me, but Bring Me the Horizon is my all-time favorite band. I got to meet Jason Butler, the singer of Let Live, who is now the singer of I cannot remember his other band right now. I got to meet him that night, and I got to meet 2 or 3 of the guys from Issues out in the parking lot when we were leaving, and so I got some random stuff signed. But that it was in Nashville, Tennessee. I had my grandpa drive me like 4 hours to go see it, and that has to be every time I see them is an incredible experience. The last time I saw them was in Kansas City. Like those 2 right there probably tied for the best. But outside of Bring Me the Horizon, any of the Ice Nine Kills shows I've been to are up there. They just put on a heck of a show. But like that 2013 headlining Bring Me the Horizon show is the best. Warped Tour was incredible. I wish with all of my soul that it would. I miss it so much already. So many articles I wanted to pay, so I had to find like different sites that had the same article but free to read. Yeah, I hate the pay to read articles kind of thing. Hey Rob, have a good night. Thanks for listening in for a while tonight. I appreciate you. Oregon just about to choke away the chance to sneak into the college playoffs. I saw that game was kind of like back and forth at the beginning, at least while I was still at work. I did see that Kentucky lost to Vanderbilt, and I believe I heard them say that Kentucky's beat Vanderbilt the last, I don't know, there was a winning streak there that they ended, which was crazy. Everybody at the casino today, they had that game on all the TVs and at the sports book, and people were so loud. As soon as that game ended, when Kentucky lost, the casino felt silent. Thankfully, it did not hurt my feelings any. But they were just screaming, like, it was like you would think there was like thousands of people in there, but I think it was just like a group of like 40 people screaming so loud. Wi-Fi finally fixed what I missed. What's up, Ben? I don't know how much you missed. I've only been here for a little bit. What did I miss? Recap. We were talking about eating people. We were talking about go-karts because Mickey told me to. A little bit about college football, a little bit about music. I think that's it. I don't know. And food. So old. I saw Warped Tour 1996, Blink 182, 311, Pennywise, so much 90s in one concert. I was born in 1996, but I wish I was born at least 15 to 20 years before I was born because of all the concerts in the 90s that I wish I had got to go to. I would like to see there was a music festival in Australia, and I remember when I was in high school I used to like watch the YouTube videos of it. And it was like called like Big Day Out 2000 or something, and it was like a massive festival that Blink 182 played. That would have been really, really cool to see. I would have loved to see Blink in their prime. Good thing is recorded. Now I can see what you said about you. It's gone. Lollapalooza, Nine Inch Nails, Jane's Addiction. Yeah, see, there's a lot of music that I will never get to see because I was born too late. So, if I could time travel, the one thing I would do is go see all the concerts that, I was not allowed to see. UCF won 38-31. I think that was the score the last time I saw that game when I was at work. So, that's not much changed, I guess. I don't know how much time was left when I was there, though. 2 timeouts left. At least they could tie it up. You never know. You never know. I just like Oregon for like their uniforms because like they work with Nike. I think the earliest concert I ever went to was in like 2010. I want to say I was like 14, I think. Yeah, Big Day Out was awesome, but because it was in the middle of summer. I can imagine. Like I said, I've watched so many videos of Big Day Out 2000. When I was in high school, in my English class, they gave us MacBooks my junior and senior year, and I would just watch old videos of concerts that, way before my time. And so, like I watched that one specifically so many times. I'm so glad I found this channel. You and Shane are such good people. I really like you guys. That's saying a lot because I don't like people. I absolutely love all of you guys, and I'm the same way. I do not like people. And I think it's because I'm in such a social business, working at a casino, that I spend 8 hours a day doing nothing but just continuously talking to people, all day long. But this place in here, or wherever we're at, I have so much fun because that people all come together because they can relate, whether it be music or a favorite football team or just football in general. Sports bring people together. They might tear people apart, but they also bring people together, and I absolutely love all of the time I spend on here with you guys. The kicker for Oregon better get prepared. I will say watching football games are cool. They tailgate on boats off the stadium. It's like a proper tailgate in a parking lot, but one wrong step and you drown. That's pretty cool. That was like, as much as I didn't like to see it, when Tampa Bay won the Super Bowl, they had their like parade thing with the players on the boats, and that was cool. Why y'all trying to make me tear up with all the love? I got nothing but love for all of you guys. Everyone is chilling here. Most days. I mean, some days it kind of gets crazy, but I do. All the people that hang out the most are usually pretty chill. If I could spend every day in here and not at a casino, I definitely would do that instead. Was a hotel clerk slash auditor and hated the fact I had to be so nice to so many people that I just couldn't stand. I actually really, really do like my job. I don't like people. I'm like the most social, antisocial person ever. But there's some days that, when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed or whatever, however you want to call it, and you have to go face a bunch of people that need something from you or want something from you or are just angry and want to take it out on you. Some days it does get hard. Found this channel because you won that duck race. I went on like a streak of like 4 or 5 of those duck races that I won, so I was like feeling good. So I had to like pull out of them because I didn't want to push my luck. 97 was the Pinnacle, Prodigy, Soundgarden, Nine Inch Nails, and lots more, but can't remember because there's been a lot of drugs between then and now. Yeah, see, that would be super cool. I was gonna see Prodigy in 2020, the May of 2020, but I think it was when their singer passed away, and so Papa Roach ended up replacing them for their spot in the festival that I was at. And like like as sad as I was, because obviously I was sad about that, them not getting to play. I had never seen Papa Roach, and they are, even if you don't like their music, they are a very fun show. You should love Facebook, the most social unsocial place on the internet. I actually don't like Facebook, but I enjoy the memes. That's the only reason I really use Facebook. I would probably not have one at all if I didn't have like my family from like Texas and my family from all over the country. That's the only place I have to like connect with them. But like I pretty much only use it for the memes. I like Twitter, but Elon Musk is like, I don't know what he's doing. That I feel like Twitter is about to, it's a sinking ship. But I'm here for the ride because I love the chaos of Twitter. And I hate Instagram because they changed everything on there. and I don't really understand the app that much anymore. It feels like I'm on TikTok and not like if I wanted to go to TikTok, I'd go to TikTok, but I don't really care for TikTok either. So, I like Twitter, I like YouTube, and I'm growing more fond of Discord. As our Discord little community is continuing to grow. I used to use it to play like a couple games with my buddy from work, but that was the only time. All my exes live in Texas. That's why I hang my hat in Missouri. That's fair. That's fair. I've been to Texas a lot. It's all my stepmom's side of the family that live in Texas, but I love all of them, and I love going there. Only thing that goes TikTok is a clock. That is true. Yeah, I'm just not a really big Instagram person. Like the only thing I use it for now, like I don't even use my personal one all that much. Is like our live streams I'll post in the story on Instagram. But other than that, I don't even open the app because I just don't care to. But yeah, social media is just weird now. Like all of them had their own thing going for them, and now they're all trying to compete with each other by being each other. And so it's just like, I don't know. I just pretty much use YouTube. I just watch videos instead of seeing what people are talking about. I have like notifications turned on for like the Chiefs and like my favorite musicians like when they announce tours and stuff like that, and like Adam Schefter and some of the sports reporters. And so like it just sends that to my phone. I don't have to go to the app. I can just read it, and like if it has a link or something, I can click on it and go to it that way. But for the most part, I just go where the memes are. All my exes in Indiana. That's why I'm trying to get out of here. That's fair. You can always come to Kentucky. Everyone hates on Kentucky, but it's not all that bad here. Can only get hit with so many corn cobs. I love corn. I've never been hit with a corn cob, but I love corn. But I still go to Indiana every day because I work in Indiana, even though I live in Kentucky now. Yeah, TikTok hurts my brain. There's a couple like I will follow like my favorite musicians because sometimes they'll post like sneak peeks and stuff like that, but I don't really scroll on it. Like I should make like a reaction channel to all the TikToks people send me because I feel like there's probably like 7,000 of them. I get notifications every day, like so and so sent you a TikTok, and I'm like, I'm never gonna open that. Pizzle, it's not worth it, man. Like, it's just not. It was cool when it first came out for like 5 minutes. I enjoyed it, but now I'm just like, I wish I never opened that app. I have a phone to just keep in touch with my grandkids and bill collectors. That's fair. I love Twitter. I've been on Twitter since I don't know, it's been like 14 years probably. Like 2009. But like when I first got on there, it was not like a bunch of social. It was just people like making announcements so you could see it. Like I said, bands and like sports things. Like that was all it was really used for. Now it's this huge social platform, and I'm like, oh, okay. I would probably delete Instagram if I could, but you know, I just don't bother with it. But yeah, Pizzle, TikTok is not worth your time, man. I'm a 17-year-old kid stuck in a 6-year-old body. Well, I get it. Look, as I was just saying it, I just got a notification that somebody just sent me a TikTok. It's every day. It's between, my sister or my brother or Shelby or, my any of my friends. Dad uses TikTok a lot. Between everybody, they'll just send me stuff, and I'm sure they're hilarious, and I will laugh, but I just don't want to. Discord, Twitter, and YouTube is where it's at. Absolutely, 100%. I use Twitter to keep track of what the cathedral lied to us about. I bust out a TikTok dance just to embarrass my kids at the mall. Twitter almost died this week after everyone faked being a legit account. Yeah, you can like pay $8 to get a verified check mark next to your name and pretend to be whoever you want. And like that's so stupid. Like Elon Musk had to know that was gonna get out of hand. Like I saw I was just scrolling on Twitter, I think yesterday, and it said like the real OJ Simpson, and it said, "Oh yeah, I definitely did that shit." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And so I had to like go back. I didn't once check the check mark to see if it was like an actual verified or if it was like the blue check mark from paying $8. I didn't think anything of it, but then I started like scrolling through this account. I was like, they were just saying a bunch of crazy stuff on there, and I was like, and then I realized that it was just somebody, and I was like, that's horrible, man. Yeah, I don't follow anybody that gets into politics for the most part, unless it's like one of my close friends and I just can't ignore it. Or I just ignore it, but I try to stay away from that. As long as you're not a 60-year-old stuck in a 17-year-old, because that's just wrong. There were 200 NFL trade lies that went out under real announcer names, and everyone lost their mind for 3 hours. I saw, I don't remember what company it was, but like I saw the stocks completely dropped in it. Oh, because somebody had a fake account and tweeted like something about insulin being free, and like an actual stock company like went straight down, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, people, you can't give the people this much power." But I didn't see like the trade stuff, but that I can definitely believe it. I don't know how I didn't because most of my Twitter is sports related anyway. Elon Musk needs to get rid of the $8. That's who it was. Lilly. Yeah, their stocks went straight down. The left and the right wings are attached to the same turkey. That's what I'm saying. Whoa. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but that ain't me. I'm looking at you, Mickey. Yeah, Elon Musk is either gonna run it into the ground or he's gonna get rid of the $8 thing and people are gonna go back to having their normal accounts. Because I don't want them to burn Twitter to the ground. I love Twitter. Twitter is like the smoke room at a workplace. Like that kind of conversation is like the smoke room of a workplace of social media. Everybody just gets together, uh, and just talks about the most random things, and then you leave and you don't talk to each other anymore. I don't talk to half the people that I talk to on Twitter in real life. We just like share funny stuff. Who hit my caps lock key? Yes, who did it? I will get to the bottom of that. How much have you had tonight? Mickey's just here for a good time, man. He don't care. I'm just thankful, and maybe this is the reason why I didn't see all that stuff, Jeff, is because like I said, I'm subscribed to I get the notifications for a lot of the like Adam Schefter and those guys. So they just go to my phone. So if it were a fake account, I wouldn't see it right away. I do love the so-called credible journalist crying that anyone can get a check mark. I mean, it's funny that the top like feel sad that other people can look the same as them, but it really doesn't matter to me. Question, do you have any Chiefs flags? I have the Red Friday flags that they release every year. Um, I have 2 of them that I had from previous years, but the one that came out this season, I have 2 of them that was shipped to me in, like, September, and they're still in the packaging, and, I haven't opened it because when we go to the Chiefs versus Bengals game in December 4th, we're gonna be 3 rows, behind the Chiefs bench, and I'm gonna take them there and try to get them signed by any Chiefs players. 3 by 5 flags? Yeah, I have the small one. I actually have a really large Bengals flag that someone gave me for Christmas once, and it's, like, bigger than a beach towel, but I don't have any big Chiefs flags. I have a lot of Chiefs blankets. I mean, like, I sleep with this one every night. I have a lot of Chiefs blankets, and I have a lot of Chiefs beanies. I have a lot of Chiefs things, but not a lot of flags. Oregon goes down to Washington. Yeah, I have 4 of the little ones, but I don't have any big ones. 3 f No, no, they're not that big. They're probably, like, 3 foot by a foot and a half. They're smaller. They might be bigger than that. Do I want one? I mean, I'm never gonna say no. I planned on because where I was living before I moved in here with dad to work on my new house, it was like a rental property, and I didn't want to put like holes in the walls, and I didn't want to use like tape or anything either. So I didn't really have a lot of things hanging up in the house. But now that I've got my own space, I'm probably going to invest in a lot of cool things to put on the wall. I was gonna put a fat head of Patrick Mahomes above my bed, but Shelby said no. I'm like, bro, it's Patrick Mahomes. What's up, Holly? I appreciate you. I hope you're doing well also. Thanks for stopping in here with us. Where's Papa? He's taking my brothers to work right now. So he said that if I'm still on when he gets back, which the boys have to be at work at 11 and it's 10:53, so he's probably there now and they're only about 15 minutes away. He might be on his way back by now. I won't lie, I've been extremely frustrated these past 2 days. I'm sorry, Nathan. I did see your message, but I was a little bit busy at work. But when I get off here tonight, I will look at them and see if I can try and help you out. Did I hear Patrick Mahomes? I just joined. You did. I have the American Chiefs flag I'm willing to give you, but there's one condition. Oh gosh. What is the condition? Yeah, he has to work at 3, so it's 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. In about 4 hours he'll be off to work. I don't know what his sleeping arrangement is, if he slept during the day or what. But yeah, he has to go in early. Instead of going in at 7, he'll go in at 3. Waiting for the sample sale where I work, $5, all the random sports stuff I can grab in 10 minutes. We make the jerseys and bobbleheads and merch for all the sports. See what I can grab for you. Absolutely. I'll even send you money if you get anything cool. It has to be used for a backdrop of all your streams. I mean, I planned on putting like something in a backdrop, but I haven't decided how I'm gonna arrange my office. Like, I'm getting it built currently. I just have to put curtains up before I can put anything valuable in there because it's just open windows right now. I have to put window trim up first. But I haven't decided how I want to arrange my desk and how I want to make everything look just yet. Yeah, I didn't mean to not get back to you. I got off work and I drove straight here so I could come on with him. How is he related to you? He's my dad. 100% blood dad. But I want to help you get that all fixed for your YouTube channel. The wood paneling is getting on my nerves. Let me find like an old one. Where's it at? Where is the YouTube? So back in the day, and I know Nathan will remember this, but I used to have like a Ice Nine Kills, which is a band, their flag hanging up in my backdrop. I'm trying to load something, but it's being very slow. He said who he thinks he will win the Eagles game. Well, I can tell you what his picks were for the week. He picked the Eagles. Hey, no bashing the wood paneling. I had to live with wood paneling for many years. I do not hate the wood paneling, and in this room specifically, it looks very good, and I like it. Let's go to live streams. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with the wood paneling. Just busting you, but I'm willing to send you the flag if you want it. If you want to part with it, I will not say no. But I will obviously hang it in my office in some place where it will be seen by many people. Let's see. This one might have it in here. This is like OG back in the day. You can see that. Well, it's zoomed in from based on how I have my camera, but you've got my Ice Nine flag that's in the background, and my dad was sitting in his dining room of the house that I'm gonna be moving into when we first started this channel out. But that Ice Nine Kills flag, they do a lot of. I'm gonna have to fix my camera because nope, it fixed itself. They do a lot of horror movie themed stuff, and so it's like a Freddy Krueger themed with their logo on it flag, and super awesome. But that was like the beginnings of It's in the Blood, and was super awesome. I had a lot of fun. My internet was so bad. Nothing really worked all that great. But we rocked with it and had some fun. I silent been doing a couple other things. I understand, Nathan. Also, thank you so much, Holly. I appreciate that. Tim remembers the flag. He was here for it. I have the flag. It's over at the other house right now. But that is like one of my all-time favorite flags that I've ever owned. I've got quite a few. Just they're all like random. They're not like football themed. Like I said, the only football one I have is that, other than my smaller Chiefs flags, is I have that massive Bengals flag that someone gave me for Christmas once, and they're like, "Hey, I went to a Bengals game. I got this, and I got it for you." And I was like, "Thanks." I'm not gonna be just rude about it, but a Walmart I'm willing to part with to a true red, white, and gold fan. Absolutely. I mean, that is me. Get up with me and let me know where to send it. Well, I am coming to Kansas City in a few months, so there's that as well. Also, Jeff, hey, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I found an older picture of me from when I was in high school, but my hair is grown out. The pictures from me in high school, my hair was like, I kept it about around my collarbones. And so a lot of people, and my hair was not this color. It was more, well, it's a lot darker now as I get older, my natural hair color, but it was like a very like sandy blonde. A Pizzle with a 10 super sticker. Thank you so much, Pizzle. I appreciate you. I also told Grossi not to ban you because you had sent a super chat in here the other day. I left him a comment, but I do appreciate it. Should I send it to you if you want to see how curly my hair gets? Absolutely. I'm always down. Why can't Kansas City be renamed Missouri City and be done with it? Because Kansas City rules all. Always buy a coffee or beer for peeps to hang out with. I appreciate that. I probably will go get me a coffee in the morning before I go to work. Dad has to be at work at 3, and I gotta be at work at 9. We could do that. Best not to let me know where you live, because God knows what I might do. No, I'll just give you Dad's address after I move out, and then you can do whatever you want to him. Hey, Alex, is Tim still here? Oh, there he is as soon as I said that. Tim is still here. He just sent a message 2 minutes ago. Yep, there he is. But yeah, I told Shelby about the Go Chicken Go place that you were talking about, Mickey, and so she's also very excited to go try that out when we get down there. Missouri, before someone in Seattle tries to think of something about Kansas. I went to, like I said earlier when we were talking about like favorite shows and such, like concert shows, and I told you like my first and last Bring Me the Horizon. Oh, it says your name on it, so I cannot open it.
You can open it.
It's illegal.
It's illegal, but I'm telling you that you can open it. I want you to open it now.
I don't want to open it now.
I want you to open it now. If you don't want to, I mean, that's okay, but I thought it'd be a cool time to open it.
Anyway, what I was saying was he is back. He is back. But I have your mail, Tim. And I appreciate you. He just busted in the door because nobody in this family knows how to knock, because I could have been a total stranger. They were still gonna bust through the door, and it is the funniest thing because I always act surprised, and he's like, why are you surprised? Just to mess with him. But anyway, my favorite story, I told you my favorite show was like my first Bring Me the Horizon concert and my last one, which was in Kansas City. And Bring Me the Horizon, for those of you who do not know, are from the UK. And they came in and they were in Kansas City, Missouri. And like one of the first things they said when they came out was like, we've been here all day and I just found out that we are not even in Kansas, and that we were in Kansas City, Missouri. And so many people confuse that. Okay, I'm going to open it just because Tim says open it now. I don't have to listen to Papa Nathan. It has his name on it, so I feel like that is illegal. I don't listen to him. I'm listening to Tim because Tim sent it. Oh, there's one with his name on it in here as well, so I can't open that. This one also has his name on it. This one has my name on it. It says Alex, aka Little Miss Chaos. I love it. Tried to get this to you before your birthday. A little late, Tim. Thank you for all the fun live streams. Hope this little gift brings you luck. Found it in southern Arizona in the early 70s while digging around an old washed out settler's home. Thanks again, Tim and Allie. P.S. Bring on the chaos. All right. Let's see it. I appreciate it, Tim. It is a little late, but that I believe you said that Dad gave you the wrong address, and so that makes sense. Also, you packaged this very well, and I appreciate the red tape. Yo. I used to have a couple arrowheads as a kid, but I lost them a long time ago. But thank you so much, Tim. I will probably take this with me everywhere because I hope you're right. It does bring me good luck, but I'm very thankful. I'm gonna have to tell Dad he's gotta come back in here and get his packages. But it's a freaking arrowhead. That's what I'm saying. Shout out to Tim and Allie. You guys are awesome. It is very cold. It must have sat in the mail for a little while because it's like 10 degrees here. But that is so sick. I'm so excited. I'm gonna have to do what I can to keep this in great condition. I can't let my dad see that because he'll be jealous. He said he found it in southern Arizona in the early 70s. That's so awesome, Tim. Thank you so much. I'm about to open his because he told me that I could open it, even though he told me not to. Got there in 3 days. That's honestly impressive. From you're in Alabama, right? Yeah, I definitely. That's so awesome. My band / DJ friends from the UK used to claim there were 6 places in the US: New York, LA, big cold. I think they meant Chicago, hot, weird, maybe Florida and Las Vegas. The rest they just called Kansas. That's amazing. Well, I guess I could have looked right here. It has your address on it. But thank you, Tim. I do appreciate you. And this is probably one of the coolest gifts I've ever received. And I will treasure it for always. Also, he says, "Go Chicken Go" is the Mac Daddy bomb diggity boom boom of chicken houses. Dad! Open the door!
Thanks, Tim. You are my son.
Volcanoes or earthquakes? Volcanoes are way cooler. I feel like earthquakes are just damaging, but like volcanoes can do a lot of destruction, but at least they're cool to look at. I didn't expect him to be home so fast. He must have drove like 100 miles an hour to get home. Dad, Mayor. That's how it is. These walls are hollow in this house. Like, it's such a nice house. Like whoever built this did a really great job, but like you can hear everything. Like every time he gets a notification on his computer, I can hear it. It'll go doo-doo-doo. Volcanic earthquake. Yeah, earthquakes just suck. Well, Tim, I appreciate you remembering me saying that. I hope that one day I'll be able to like find my own somewhere, but I feel like they're just not very easy to find. And this is super sweet. Like, I love it. Time travel or dimensional travel? I feel like I'm too scared to travel outside the dimension, and I would love to time travel because there's a lot of stuff that happened before I was born that I would like to see. It'd be cold out. You don't want to be out there too long. That's true. He drives like a banshee. That's true. They don't suck. They shake. You right. You right. You right. I thought he was coming back in here. I don't know if he is or not. So OBJ has whittled down his current list of potential teams: the Cowboys, Bills, Chiefs, Giants, and Niners. And he should have an answer by the end of the month. I feel like the most team that needs him the most, I guess I should say, is probably the Cowboys and Giants, but I could see him preferring the Bills, Chiefs, and Niners more. James Bond or Indiana Jones? I don't know. I would probably pick Indiana Jones, to be honest. My dad and uncle have been in a 50-year dispute regarding the ownership of the arrowheads they discovered. Just split them down the middle. I know it don't work that way, but that's what I would be like. All right, we found 10. Well, you get 5 and I get 5, and that's it. That's how it's going to be. We'll let someone else pick. Arrowheads are one of the coolest things on the planet. I'd love them to go back to the Giants. I feel like that would be cool, honestly. Someone will sign OBJ just to prevent another team from signing him. That's why I could feel like the Chiefs will sign him for no reason, so the Bills don't get him. They don't care if the Cowboys or the Niners or the Giants do. Have you ever played college video games? I feel like I've played one, and it was a football game, but I don't remember what year that was that it came out. Vikings or Mongols? Found dozens, but mostly broken ones. I remember I had some when I was a little kid, like a very, very young. And my uncle is part probably I would probably choose Vikings, Crafty. But he is like like 3/4 Indian, or his mom was 3/4 Indian, and so he's like a fourth or something. But they used to have like powwows and stuff, and so I spent a lot of time around a lot of like native people, and so I don't remember where I got them, but they gave me a lot of cool stuff, and I loved that. I loved being in that environment. They're all such cool people. I haven't went to one in a long time, but I did. I ever since I was like 3, I've been fascinated by arrowheads. NCAA 14, that's probably it. I played video games in college. Does that count? True. College football is a good career move on Xbox or PS3 or 4. I forget. I feel like it was probably PS3. Genghis Khan or Attila the Hun? Genghis Khan. Video games had not invented yet when I was in college. No video games? None? NCAA 06? June or July 23. I knew that they had a new one coming. Are you Team William the Conqueror or Team Harold Godwinson? I'm only familiar with one of the two, so I cannot choose between the two. Great soundtrack. You know what has a great soundtrack? Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. I've always been fascinated by arrowheads as well, particularly with Native American heritage and growing up in an area where most of our suburb schools landmarks are named after such. That's fair. Being in that environment could be very easy to want to learn more. I think it's because I grew up around my uncle and a lot of his family like when I was really young. That was influenced. Like, he let me shoot a crossbow once. Like, that was the coolest thing I ever did. But like, I used to have like a porcupine. What are they called? Needle, I guess. Like I have like a flute that was crafted by them, like a wooden flute, and we used to like go up. I think it was in a little bit northern Indiana was where we would go, and we'd spend like a day or two there, like once a month, and it was a quill. Or a spine. I guess both of those work, but I got one of those. I remember going to show and tell at school, and I just brought everything that I had got from there. Like, that was like my show and tell at school gifts. Like, I just had like this big bag full of all the stuff I had gotten from like my first powwow. But arrowheads are like, I don't know, like, they're special, man. They're just like the coolest. I used to like see them like wear them as necklaces or have them just sitting around everywhere. And my uncle has a crap ton of them as well. And like, I just feel like I don't know. They're just the coolest kind of rock shape there can be, I guess. I would love for them to do a college baseball game. They only made one for the PS2, and that was it. I am so bad at baseball games. Like I say, I'm bad at games. I'm bad because I can't compete online. But when it comes to baseball, I can't even play it not online. I'm that bad. Except for the bigs on the Xbox 360, I used to play that game all the time. That game was awesome. Corn Pops or Lucky Charms? Oh, Lucky Charms. I don't know. That's tough. Bottle in front of you or frontal lobotomy? Crafty tough one. That is a tough one. I thought really hard about that. I have to go with Lucky Charms. They add the marshmallow. And that's the only reason you eat Lucky Charms is for the marshmallows. People who just eat Lucky Charms and don't eat the marshmallows are a crazy, crazy type of human. I haven't eaten corn pops in a very long time. How often you play and what pitchers, hitters you face. That's true, but baseball is my struggle. I have to stick to just watching it. I'm not very good at playing it. I see a Papa. Assassin's Creed Papa. You're muted.
I said Assassin's Creed, Papa. It's cold outside. That's why I got my hoodie on.
Cheerios without sugar. I like Honey Nut Cheerios. Right there. You get everything you could ever want.
I remember being a kid when the box of Cheerios was in the cabinet after all the Frosted Flakes and stuff like that was gone. We'd grab the sugar bowl and we would just sit there and pile it on while we ate regular Cheerios.
He's just in Assassin's mode. Looking like the Grim Reaper. Where's your staff? Oh, now he just looks like a normal human. Shows off how big of a dork you are. It's warm. Dude, the game series, I guess. I'm in preference to the early, like, first couple because I kind of, like, just stopped playing video games for a period of my life when multiple of them were released, so I'm just really far behind. But, like, the Assassin's Creed games are incredible. When things are grim, be the Grim Reaper. And that is an all-time quote, man. Shout out to Papa Reed. Patrick Mahomes. How cold is it there? It is right now 32
35?
degrees. 32. Alex, what will you stream tomorrow? Sunday Night Football is what I will stream tomorrow. I don't know what he's gonna stream tomorrow, but I will stream Sunday Night Football, which is the Lightning Bolts and the 49ers.
Is that what I got? Or is that what you
No,
got?
that's Sunday Night Football. None of us are normal human beings, and that's why we all like each other so much. Clash of the Titans. Black Flag. See, I didn't play Black Flag, but I watched a lot of gameplay of Black Flag. My buddy Matt, he's platinumed every single Assassin's Creed game that there is. It's only 28. I don't even know what normal is. 21 degrees. Yeah, it was 70 degrees here yesterday, and I woke up today and it was like 30 degrees and my car was covered in snow. And I was so angry. My day started off rough just because I was angry. Can he do Jags at Chiefs? If he does a 1 o'clock game and if he gets it, but I don't think he will. We probably will not get a Chiefs game tomorrow. Out of market.
Let's see. I can either do Minnesota at Buffalo at 1 if I so choose.
That's a great game.
Jacksonville at Kansas City. I could do that game.
I cannot believe you got that game. Well, that's the one you have to do if you stream.
I'm just deciding on whether or not I want to do 2. Hold on.
I mean, if the 4 o'clock games are bad, you're probably gonna get the Colts and Raiders game. You could just do a 1 o'clock game and sleep at the 4 o'clock one.
Wow. At 4:25, I got Dallas at Green Bay.
Oh yeah, that's America's game of the week. I'm not sure why. I feel like, especially if Josh Allen wasn't hurt, the Minnesota and Buffalo game should be the game of the week. Like by a long shot. I've never rooted for the Vikings harder than I will this week.
That's a possibility of doing both for sure.
I'll either be doing the German game. I clock in at 9 o'clock and it starts at 9:30 to work, so I will not be home, unfortunately.
Nathan, it's the game that you guys are definitely going to win.
Don't say that. Don't say that, dude. That game, there's either going to be 80 points scored in that game, or there's going to be 15 points scored in that game. There will be no in between. Seattle game is at 6:30 a.m. Seattle time. Oh, because it's overseas, right? America's shame of the week. Y'all are going to be, like, mind blown when the Packers win that. Like, for no reason. Are either one of those teams going to win? One of those teams does have a tie this year, so they know how to do that.
If the score could be -3 to -3, I would say that would be the score.
Look, realistically, I just want to be like, yeah, the Raiders winning that game by a mile. Or, by what I think I know. But the other side of realism is how bad the AFC West struggles against the AFC South. Plus, they got a brand new play caller, essentially rookie QB. And this whole Colts team might look completely flipped from any game we've seen this year for no reason. So
teams tend to get motivated when they have like a interim head coach.
if the Colts can beat the Chiefs, the Colts can beat the Raiders. So that game is truly a coin flip of who's going to play for 4 quarters. Because neither of these teams know how to do that this season. I haven't seen Germans this excited since they elected a painter as their president. Dude, they had like 70,000 tickets for this game, and they had like 3.1 million people apply for tickets. That's crazy.
It's going to be rowdy.
But yeah, that's the Colts and Raiders. Everyone is so interested in that game because of Jeff Saturday. Look, that's how you know he won the locker room if the whole world is excited to see Jeff Saturday as a head coach. I'm not. That's gonna be a mess. The Chiefs did beat the Chiefs. The Colts did not beat the Chiefs. I agree 100%. But at the end of the day, we always play stupid against the AFC South for no reason except the Texans. We play stupid against the Texans in the first quarter. The Tank Bowl, who's gonna get the higher draft pick? I don't know what's wrong with the Raiders because sometimes they come out and they look like incredible, and sometimes they come out and it's like, have any of those 53 guys ever played a snap of football in their life? Like, do they even know what the sport is? And I just don't understand. They were a playoff team last year, and they've only, considering their roster, gotten better in the offseason. Everyone looks good against the Texans. No, I agree. I say it's McDaniels, and then he'll come over here and say, oh, well, it's Derek Carr's fault. And I still think at the end of the day, it is Josh McDaniels because Rich Bisaccia got Derek Carr in this exact team minus Devontae Adams to the playoffs.
I didn't say it was Derek Carr's fault. I just said that I don't like Derek Carr. I don't think he's that guy to take him to the next level.
Yes, at the end of the day, the team with the most points beats the other one, to be fair. That is true. If they can get their car to start. No, Jeff, Nathan is a Raiders fan, which is somehow worse than being a Packers fan this year. But, isn't that crazy? Like, the Packers, you would feel like they haven't won a single game this year, how it feels to be a Packers fan right now. And I just feel like somehow like the Texans fans don't care. Okay, they have accepted. They're like the Lions last year. They're losing but still having fun. The Lions are winning a couple more games than they did last year, so they're still having a lot of fun despite the losses. Like those two teams don't count. The Jaguars, I don't know where you consider the Jaguars right now. I'm trying to think of other bottom teams, but the Packers, no fan base is more upset right now than the Packers fan base.
Packers and the Broncos.
Who cares about the Broncos, man? Broncos
A lot of
culture.
angry fans
Let's
out there,
cry.
though.
Yeah, who knew that Seattle was going to completely fleece the Broncos with that massive trade? What's he doing?
Attacking a cricket.
He'll attack a cricket, but he's scared of a mouse.
Let's cry.
Let's cry. I would rather. I just love that I get to wake up every day and like look at the NFL standings and just look at how bad the Broncos are. Like the Seattle Seahawks completely fleeced the Broncos in every aspect. They took all of their best players and gave them Russell Wilson.
Great question.
Hollywood at 10, thank you so much, says, what is your take on why the Packers are so bad this year? Me and him will both give you complete different answers. But my take is that, look at the last 4 years of LaFleur going 13-4, like I think every single year. I don't think he's won less than 13 games and lost more than 4 than this year. He had it easy. So they let Adams go despite how that ended, okay? Whether he chose to go or, whatever. And now it gets to a point, like, I feel like LaFleur was just like, sit back and watch because this team could just do it all by themselves. Because, like, his coaching decisions, obviously bad. I remember the NFC Championship against the Buccaneers. Bad. But I think that it's coming down to LaFleur's not that great of a head coach, and Aaron Rodgers is the most petty human on the planet. And so he's like, okay, you want to run this team and you think you can do it without basically me doing everything? We'll do what you want. And he's letting it crash and burn because LaFleur's not as good of a head coach as everyone thought he was. That is my take. That it's a pissing contest between Rodgers and LaFleur.
Oh my God, I agree.
Every time I tell you that, you come back at me and tell me that I'm wrong, and you tell me why.
No, but the way you explained it that time, it is petty between them. But I feel like Rodgers is kind of laying down though too.
I think he's doing it to prove a point to LaFleur that he's not as good of a coach as he thinks he is. I think it's just a pissing contest between the two of them, and he's like, I will win because at the end of the day, if you lose your job, it's going to hurt a lot more than if I just retire. And it's just petty. So Holly again, thank you so much. Says same question applies for why the Broncos are so bad this year. I guess the Raiders also. I think the Broncos are so bad because 1, they have a very inexperienced head coach. 2, Russell Wilson is learning a new system. 3, Jerry Jeudy is not that good of a wide receiver, and he is their number 1 receiver. Plus, they gave away all their draft capital and a lot of their good position players. The only thing that's going right for them is their defense, but you can't break a good defense. Like, they're doing it all, man. Like, I'm putting that on coaching and Russell Wilson because, listen, he did break his thumb last year, and he didn't look all that great when he came back from it then. So who knows if it never healed right or – so I take all of that into consideration. I think this is a whole pot of – plus they had such high expectations. That's a lot to live up to in a short turnaround. But the Raiders, I think the same thing. I think it's Josh McDaniels by a mile. Like, I truly feel like he is the core problem.
I agree with mostly of that. The other thing about the Broncos is that with Hackett going there to coach, they expected to get Aaron Rodgers in a trade as well because I know that's been a big part of the talk. They thought that by hiring Hackett, it hedged their bet to get Rodgers as their quarterback.
I think so too. I really think that that's the only reason they chose him.
Oh, for sure. And the Raiders, I think Josh McDaniels is not the guy that everybody thinks he is. He's failed. This is his second failure in a row, and I think he's just going to go back. And
Isn't
I
this
think
his third failure in a row? Didn't he
I
have
know he was in Denver. Did he
Didn't
go
he have-
somewhere else?
Didn't he have 2 jobs before?
I know he was offered the job in Indy, but
I
never took
knew he
it.
was offered the job in Indy, but he declined. I believe I blame a lot of failure on coaching. I mean, look what Pete Carroll's doing with Geno Smith right now. What Russell Wilson wasn't able to do. Raiders need to get out of Vegas. Okay, there's another point. Vegas is not a sports city. Maybe a sports betting city, but their sports do not need to be in Vegas. Now the hockey team, that's fine because they're allowed to fight each other. Technically they're not, but they get the animosity out there. Like they literally fight each other. That's what hockey is to me.
I agree, Crafty.
Extending Rodgers instead of trading him was a gutless move. Refusing to bench him and start your first round pick is even more gutless. I really, truly believe Jordan Love was going to get moved at the deadline in terms of getting maybe a receiver or something. Instead, they were offering first round picks.
I would love to see the Chargers back in San Diego.
I agree with Jeff's comment right here. I liked it when it used to be illegal to have a pro team in Vegas. Should have kept that rule. I agree. I hate sports in Vegas. I hate that. Vegas is where people go to get in trouble and make bad decisions, not play football or whatever sport and make millions of dollars.
Absolutely the worst place in the world to put young NFL players their first time away from structure.
I also just don't like LA teams in general, so that's why I agree about the Chargers need to go back to San Diego. Like, I don't care where they go. I just don't like LA sports. There's no real fans in LA. Maybe for the Lakers, but like that's about it.
Lakers and the Dodgers.
Let's just not have any professional sports teams in SoCal. Like, that's fine. That's fine with me. In Vegas. Oh yeah, the Dodgers. But the Dodgers just get new bandwagon fans every single year. Like it's just a serious rotation. Like the 60-plus-year-old men that have been lifelong Dodgers fans are the only ones I consider real. But oh wait, Mickey said, question: if you're riding a donkey and people throw rocks at you, causing you to fall off the donkey, does that mean you're stoned off your ass? I mean, technically. Bad decision example, Ruggs. Yeah, I mean, as much as people don't talk about that, he went from playing college football. Everything was it's like being in college and playing sports is like being in the military. Your every day is pretty much set in stone for you. You have this amount of time to do this, then you have to go do this, and then you can choose to party or go to bed, whatever. But you get out into the real world and you're a rookie or a second round or second year, still you're a child in a adult sport essentially. And you're allowed to do whatever you want with all this money they give you, with nobody to stand there behind your back saying you have to be, you have to do all these things, no structure. Bad things tend to happen. And that was just a very bad thing that did happen. And but we see that a lot. It's not uncommon that you see the young, successful players getting in trouble. It just happens.
Well said.
Yeah, and I mean, I firmly believe Henry Ruggs was going to superstar. Like, if he stayed out of trouble, he was going to be. I mean, he reminds me of someone somewhere in between Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, like somewhere in the middle. Like he embodies both of them in different ways. Not enough to be each of them, but somewhere in between. And, I think, even on the Raiders, look, we talk bad about the Raiders other than Nathan because, a lot of Chiefs fans just do that. But, like, that dude was going to be an absolute stud. He was already having a good year and a half for however long he was on the team. I feel like I missed a comment somewhere, but I don't know where it was. You picked the Bears, right? I did pick the Bears. We both picked the Bears. I feel like the Lions are going to win that game, but I did pick the Bears. Vegas is a 24-hour party. The kid had it going. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, Vegas is where people lose all their money and make bad decisions and then decide to never talk about it again. Because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Yeah, I can quickly recap our choices. We both took the Bucks, we both took the Bills, we both took the Bears, we both took the Chiefs, we both took the Dolphins, we both took the Giants. I took the Saints and you took the Steelers. We both took the Titans, we both took the Raiders. We both took the Cowboys. I took the Rams, you took the Cardinals. We both took the Niners and we both took the Eagles. What happens there stays there, right? I always get love, so I'll get crap on the Raiders all you want. I try to be at least respectful. He said I have the Lions, and I don't know where my brain was on that pick. I feel like because I picked the Bears, the Lions are going to win that game. The Giants are. I think the Giants should win. I could see an upset from the Texans because they're that team that's got nothing to lose. And if they play as hard as they did, at least in the first 3 quarters against the Eagles, against the Giants, they have a fair shot. I know that Dameon Pierce was listed as questionable with his shoulder injury. If that dude does not play, they have 0 chance. He is the bulk of their offense right now. A place of have and have-nots. I've been in the mid-range rooms in poker games in Vegas and seen their NFL players at 3 a.m. in the high roller rooms next door on a Friday, maybe Saturday. That's not surprising at all. Final question, Star Trek or Star Wars? Definitely Star Wars, only because I've seen a lot more of Star Wars than I ever have of Star Trek, so I cannot give a formidable opinion about Star Trek.
Star Wars really hung out with the same theme the whole time. Star Trek changed after George Kirk, all the different captains and stuff like that. Star Trek's still cool. It's just not as cool.
Turning into a snowman as the pups go to the bathroom. Send help. Pierce is the Texans. Dude, that guy is going to be a star too. I feel like what's going to happen is he's going to play until the end of his rookie contract and then he's going to go somewhere else and blow up. Might be the most low-key on-paper game that no one cares about. That might be a fight of their entire year. Might be a watchable. I think that's going to be a great game. Poker or rummy? I would pick rummy because I am just not good at poker. And my Nana was a dealer at the same casino I work at for like 12 years. And she always used to like play a crap ton of card games with us as a kid. And I remember how intense playing rummy or gin rummy was. And I absolutely loved it. That game is so fun, especially gin rummy, because you hold all your cards until you win, basically. And so you never know what anyone's going to do.
Fun fact. I just saw it just a second ago. Someone were talking about it, about Star Trek.
Have a good night, Puppet.
Star Trek is a snooze fest, but Star Trek, I learned the other day, featured the first interracial kiss on TV between Kirk and Uhura. So I thought that was kind of cool.
I did not know that.
I didn't either until the other day. I don't even remember where I saw it, but it was reputable.
Bears' upcoming game with the Packers will be their Super Bowl. It could be. If the Packers don't look competitive against the Cowboys, the Bears will stomp the Packers. I believe that.
Okay. I need to go to bed, my darling. I am out.
Okay, well, we've been on here for mostly you, but I've been on here for about an hour now, so.
You've been here for a minute.
So we both got equal times. Yeah, they said because it's an alien show, she's considered an alien, so the channel allowed it. The Star Wars featured the first inter-sibling kiss in movies. Facts. But anyway, we've been on here for almost 3 hours tonight. you have to work in just a few short hours, and I have to work in just a few short hours after that, and I have not had dinner, and I am exhausted. But I appreciate you guys all spending the time you spent with him today, the time you spent with me today, and the time you spent with us today. Tim, once again, thank you very, very much. This is the coolest gift I've ever received, and I'm forever grateful. You will see it with me everywhere. So thank you so much again. Everybody that sent super chats tonight as well. Thank you all. And just
yeah,
being in here, we are very thankful for that. But it is almost time for an NFL Sunday, and that is our favorite day of the week. So time I spent with myself today. And there's the kitty. But you may or may not see him on at 1 o'clock, and you may or may not see him on at 4 o'clock, depending on which game he chooses and if he wants to do both. So I'm about to drop all of the community tab polls for all the games tomorrow. So make sure you all get in there and vote for those. I meant to do it earlier in the day, but I was busy at work. But we will be back tomorrow. I can't wait to see you. Anything else you got?
Love you too, Mickey.
Go Chiefs. Go Chiefs. I don't know if you had anything you wanted to say before I close her down.
No, I will post up pretty early in the morning what my decision is going to be depending on how I feel.
Sounds good. So, once again, thank you all for spending your Saturday evening with us. It's always a pleasure spending time with the Blood Fam. If you have not done so yet, be sure to join our Discord. The link is in the description. And on that note, we will see you guys tomorrow. And go Chiefs.